Practice Test 4. Part 8. Question 96. Who determines the rule of working in an underground vault 480 volt 1000 amp service? Electrical code. Electrical code determines rule of working in underground vault, 480 volt 1000 amp service. Electrical code determines rule of working in underground vault, 480 volt 1000 amp service. Question 97. A drawing includes a multi-conductor for a communication project requiring it to have conduit, even though the conduit size is not shown. How should the estimate be prepared? Calculate the use of conduit and size from the electrical code. Even if the conduit size is not shown, can create the estimate by calculating conduit use and size from the electrical code. Use the electrical code to calculate use and size of conduit when making estimates. Question 98. The location of a wall receptacle outlet in the bathroom of a dwelling shall be installed within 36 inches of outside edge of basin. Electrical code V. 21052D. Wall receptacle location in bathroom of dwelling, installed within 36 inches of outside edge of basin. Install bathroom outlets within 36 inches of basin outside edge, residential. Question 99. What is the minimum height the service entrance is allowed above the garage roof? 8 feet. 8 feet minimum height service entrance allowed above the garage roof. Minimum height service entrance allowed above garage roof is 8 feet. Question 100. On a building plan, if you add a service to building 2 from building 1, no ground would be necessary if building 2 already has its own ground. Add a service to building 2 from building 1. No ground necessary if building 2 has its own ground. Service building 2 from building 1. No ground needed if building 2 has a ground. Question 101. The service conductors between the terminals of the service equipment and a point generally outside of the building, clear of the building walls, where joined by tap or splice to the service drop is called the service drop entrance conductors. Service drop entrance conductors are conductors between service equipment, generally outside of building, clear of walls, and joined by splice or tap to service drop. Service conductors between terminals of service equipment, and generally outside the building, clear of building walls, joined by tap or splice to service drop is called service drop entrance conductors. Question 102. What is the minimum number of GFCI circuits required if breaker control is at the service panel? Some GFCI will still be at the receptacle, 3 circuits. 1 for garage, 1 for both bathrooms, and 1 for exterior. How many receptacle boxes will still have GFCI receptacles in them? 8. Minimum number of GFCI circuits required if breaker control is at service panel? Some GFCI will be at receptacle, 3 circuits minimum. 1 for garage, 1 for both bathrooms, and 1 for exterior. How many receptacle boxes will still have GFCI receptacles in them? 8. Minimum GFCI circuits required. Breaker control at service. Some GFCI still at receptacles. Answer: 3 circuits minimum. Both bathrooms 1. Garage 2. Exterior 3. How many boxes still have GFCI? 8. Question 103. When connecting a network of computers, which cable do you use? Category 5 cable. Use Category 5 cable when connecting a network of computers. Connect network computers with Cat5 cable. Question 104. What is the smallest ground wire you can use on equipment 5 feet from the inside of the pool wall? Number 8. Number 8 is smallest ground for equipment 5 feet from inside pool wall. Smallest ground wire can use on equipment 5 feet from inside of pool wall is number 8. Question 105. You have a service call on a house built between 1965 and 1972 and the owner is concerned about one of the outlets was arcing inside the box last night. What do you suspect caused this? Aluminum wiring to the CU outlet. Service call. House built between 1965 and 1972, owner is concerned about outlets arcing inside box. Aluminum wiring to the CU outlet is possible. House built 1965 to 1972, arcing inside box, possible cause, aluminum wire to CU outlet. Question 106. What is the minimum size wire that you can use on a 9 kW oven? Number 8. Number 8 is minimum size wire on a 9 kW oven. Minimum size wire can use on 9 kW oven is number 8. Question 107. What is the name of the central smoke alarm unit that the smoke detectors are hooked up to? Fire alarm panel. Fire alarm panel is the central smoke alarm where all smoke detectors are hooked up. Fire alarm panel is central smoke alarm where all smoke detectors are hooked up. Question 108. Labeled equipment or materials are acceptable to the authority having jurisdiction. Labeled, acceptable to the authority having jurisdiction. Labeled equipment or materials are acceptable to authority having jurisdiction.